Greetings, fans, and welcome to this broadcast right here at Rancho Cotati High School at Cougar Stadium. It is the Sonoma County Soul and the San Francisco Stompers. I'm Tim Livingston alongside Chris Zemer, welcoming you to our broadcast here on your local Sonoma County network. I'll actually hand it over to Chris for a little bit of an introduction of the game while I do the starting lineups on the PA, and we'll get you ready to go here on this game this evening.
Hello, everybody. This is Chris, as he mentioned, and we're getting ready to kick off to tonight's matchup. It's going to be a good one. Both teams come into this NPSL matchup with a 1 win and 1 tie record. So it's going to be an early season matchup, but definitely an important one. Soul will be looking to establish their rhythm early at their home field here at Rancho Cotati. And the Stompers coming in on the road.
Good evening, fans, and welcome to Cougar Stadium here at Rancho Cotati High School
for
tonight's matchup between the visiting San Francisco
heading out
Stompers
for the national
and
anthem.
Your Sonoma County Soul. We will begin with the starting lineups. First, for the visiting Stompers. Tonight, their goalkeeper, number 1, Brett Weber. Number 20, Jesus Leon. Number 2, Luis Castillo. Number 15, Ramon Garcia. Number 8, Boya Carr. Number 3, David Cordova Marroquin. Number 5, Noah Delgado. Number 24, Jason Hadley. Number 10, Gustavo Tavera Rico. Number 6, Jacob Tallerman. And number 9, Graven Pacheco. That is your starting lineup.
There you can see the
for the San
Stompers
Francisco
in
Stompers.
maroon tonight.
And now the starting lineup for the Sonoma County Soul, as announced by their coach, Vinny Cortezzo.
Soul will be in their traditional orange
their
and blue.
Their goalkeeper tonight, number 1, Taylor Jones.
Taylor Jones in goal.
Number 6, Eric Larson.
Eric Larson playing
number 16, Taylor Barnador. Number 23, Lee Summerscales. Number 18, Miguel Galvan. Number 14, Corey Toofer. Number 21, Chris Daly. Number 7, Tyler Hurst. Number 2, Ross Middlemiss. Number 17, Trevor Hurst. And number 3, Edgar Amador. Your starting lineup for the Sonoma County Soul. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we please ask you rise, remove your caps and hats for the playing of our national anthem. And with that, we're about ready to get started here at Cougar Stadium, Rancho Cotati High School here in Rohnert Park, California. As Chris was talking about, the Stompers in town to take on the Sonoma County Soul. And the weather tonight, Chris, is probably going to be a little bit of a factor, although both teams are plenty ready to play in this type of weather. The clouds started coming in right before about an hour short of game time. The wind has kicked up a little bit, and considering the conditions, it looks like it's just going to continue to drop in temperature as the night progresses.
For sure, for sure. It's going to be a nice night to play, although it'll be a little bit chilly. I think the Soul are used to this here in Roanoke Park. You know, you get that seasonal wind coming through in the spring and summer, and they'll be ready. It's their home field, and they're used to it. I think the Stompers, obviously playing in the city, will be used to the conditions as well. So I don't think it'll be a huge factor unless the wind picks up.
So our sponsors tonight, we have CP Photography, Roanoke Park Chamber of Commerce, Nicholson Ranch, the Bridge School of Santa Rosa, and the Sonoma County Alliance, the affiliated youth soccer club of the Sonoma County Soul. Also want to mention KOA Petaluma, who have done a great job with the Soul as well this year. And we are just about ready to go as the Soul and the Stompers get ready to begin this match here at Rancho Cotati High School. Some pretty interesting weather, as we said. About 55 degrees right now at game time. Very cloudy, as you can see, and at this point, you
can see the Soul just finishing up their traditional pregame cheer, which some of their opponents kind of look at and laugh, but it gets them motivated for the game. So,
hey, pregame celebrations are pregame celebrations. Anything to get the team up and ready to go.
Absolutely. And the Stompers are coming in with some new faces this year. Sounds like they have some talent from around the Bay Area. And they started off, both teams come into the game with a win and a tie. So it's an early season game, but it's definitely an important one for both teams to kind of establish themselves early in the NPSL.
The Soul will likely begin with the ball, it looks like. And we are set for this soccer match here at Cougar Stadium. You can see the wind picking up a little bit down on the field, and it's going to, like I said, as the night goes on, you're probably going to see that wind increase.
For sure. It'll become more of a factor, especially in the second half. Soul kind of going with the wind at their backs, starting off early, but could be playing with it in their face early in the second half.
So the Soul begin things here with the ball, and we are ready to go. And they are going to play the ball back on their own end and push it up the side, but it's turned over quickly in the Soul's side of the pitch there. And now the Stompers are going to try and make a move back up the field, but cleared out nicely. Do you feel that this is going to be a game played in the middle of the field this evening, or do you feel like it's going to be one team controlling the possession more than the other?
You know, traditionally the Soul like to control possession. They spread the other team out and use a lot of the width, and so they have the ball generally more than their opponents. It'll be interesting to see how San Francisco comes out, you know, whether they play with 2 forwards or 3 forwards, or sometimes they even play with 1, play a little bit more of a counting attack style. So
Their starting lineup showed that they're playing with 5 midfielders, only 1 forward. So I think they are going to be trying to play more of a counterattack at this point. Really, like you said, with the possession that the Soul likes to keep, trying to make sure that they can at least make a run on goal if they get an opportunity to do so. And here's a nice little set, and that is just high.
Wow, Ross Middlemiss with a great early chance there. It was Tyler Hurst that played the ball in and did a nice job connecting. The timing was a little bit awkward there, but just pushed it over the bar.
A great run by Middlemiss, though, getting right into the middle of the box and having a great opportunity for that one-timer.
Absolutely.
And now the ball goes back towards the middle of the pitch, and the Soul once again regain possession. And it's going to be a interesting start already to this match. We're only a couple of minutes in.
And a great early chance by the Soul. That would have been a nice opportunity just to kind of put a stamp on the game right from the start.
A turnover there at midfield, and the Stompers will try and control. But the Soul are going to make sure that they keep the ball on that side of the pitch. And now the Stompers clear it out and give a throw-in for the Soul right in front of the Soul bench.
So you can see one of the themes early with the Stompers just playing with 1 forward. The Soul have 4 defenders, so they're going to be able to possess the ball out of the back the key is how are they going to find those moments going forward with such a condensed backfield for the Stompers. So look for them to kind of stretch them out and transition also to be key, because if the Stompers do come out, I think in those moments the Soul really need to capitalize and take advantage of it.
Amador cannot control the ball there, but the Soul do get it back after the throw-in. Once again, working up fast. There's middle miss again, and that's going to be a corner kick for the Soul as they get the deflection. And we're going to get a nice set piece here for the Soul early. So they are very, very aggressive in the early on, first 3 minutes of this match, and they have definitely established a tempo that is going to be hard for the Stompers to keep up with if they continue.
For sure. And Trevor Hurst on the corner kick here, and you see they push on Varnador and Summerscales out of the back, two of their kind of taller players, and the keeper does a nice job handling that there.
Brett Weber goes up for the catch, and now the Stompers are going to try that counterattack, and pushing it up the pitch there is Tavera Rico looking for Taylorman, but he's not going to be able to get there, and the Soul recover. So you can see the Stompers playing 9 back. It's going to be, it can be difficult for the Soul to find the hole, so to speak, but the way they've been moving the ball around, you saying from the sides in, a great strategy. They have done such a good job of attacking the holes in that defense.
You can see Trevor Hurst, left-footed player, but he's playing on the right-hand side here. Does a nice job of actually drawing the foul there.
Right, he got tripped up there by Talerman. And so it'll be a free kick for the Soul from about 35 yards out.
Eric Larson, who normally plays central in the midfield, is playing as an outside defender. So he's in a little bit of an uncomfortable position, but certainly has all the qualities to do a good job out there.
Larson, yeah, he's going to have a shot. He may play something in the box. We'll see.
Yeah, I think they're going to try to attack that space and behind the defense, and not the greatest balls there by Larson.
And now the counterattack on again for the Stompers, but back to receive it is Lee Summerscales.
New face in the Soul lineup, Miguel Galvin at the outside defender position. You see them playing nicely through Ross Middlemiss and back to Daly. Middlemiss collects it.
Oh, man, what a great opportunity, and that gets kicked out at the last second. What a beautiful play by the Stompers to prevent that goal from going in.
Wow.
What a play. That was Boya Carr coming up on that play, saving that at the goal line.
Definitely a goal-scoring chance at its best there. As you can see, the Soul back here. But
check this replay out here.
You can see Middlemiss does a nice job collecting it and just pushes it above the goalkeeper, and the Stompers do a nice job sliding and clearing it. Looks like Tyler Hurst was right there to pounce on it had that not been cleared away.
So Boya Carr with the most spectacular play of this game so far. We're only 5 minutes in, and it's been all Soul, but the Stompers are very resilient early on. A free kick here from about 50 yards out, and it's going to go deep into the box, but trying to draw the foul there is Talerman, but we're going the other way, as it was him who actually committing the foul. And so it'll be a goal kick here for Taylor Jones.
So it looks like in the midfield you have Corey Toffer, Chris Daly, and Tyler Hurst. And those three are going to have a lot of work to do because they're going to be surrounded. And so their ability to find each other and kind of playing between the lines, I think, is going to be a key part of this game, getting them involved in some dangerous situations.
A 4-5-1 setup for the Stompers means that the middle of that field, like you said, is going to be clumped up. And if you can move it up the sides quickly, let the middle players play out to the sides, you know, a couple of triangles or maybe some 1-2s, that's really going to help them move the ball up the field more.
You see Summerscales on the ball. There's a nice left foot, finds Hurst.
Hurst couldn't stomp on it, and it will be the Stompers taking it back as Talerman will kick it back upfield for the Stompers. So early on, playing those sides, and now another counterattack, and we have some motion upfield for the Stompers now. A great play through by Pacheco, but he cannot finish his run, and it is cleared out by the Soul. The Stompers content to play this counterattack game, let the Soul have the ball, but the Soul do have to be vigilant with their defense. They have to make sure to get back on their half of the pitch, especially the midfielders.
For sure, and you could see them playing those early balls into Pacheco up top.
And there's another ball in, and Pacheco couldn't come down with that one, but does get it back from Garcia. And now a shot on goal is just wide. And looks like we might have a stoppage. It will be
corner kick.
A corner kick for the Stompers. They're saying the Soul touched that on deflection. 8th minute here.
Interesting little side note about Pacheco. He actually plays on the Costa Rican beach national team.
Wow.
So he's probably trying to get his field legs here still. He's coming off of a season in the sand.
So the Stompers will have a corner kick. They're going to have 6 in the box here. A deep, deep set, and now the header will be recovered by the Soul. Trying to push it upfield, a counterattack of their own, but the Stompers are back. Still, that's a great move there by Middle Miss, but cleared out by the Stompers, and that actually goes into the stand, top row.
Middle Miss did a nice job of holding that ball up in the transition there, but Stompers did a good job recovering and obviously cleared it out of bounds, out of danger.
They had 3 back on that corner kick, and so they really wanted to make sure that if the Soul were able to recover anything, that they were prepared for the counterattack, and they were indeed. But still, the Soul, a little flick back there by Middle Miss, but that shot goes high in the air and is saved as Daly tried to put that on goal.
You can see the Soul doing a nice job early of finding Middle Miss. He's a great target player. Obviously, the reigning NPSL Player of the Year last year, so dangerous, and everybody knows about him. But Soul done a good job early finding him.
Multiple volleys there for the Stompers, but the Soul do recover. And now we'll clear it back into their end of the field. Middle Miss again trying to make something happen, but gets pushed from behind, and it will be a free kick for the Soul. As that was Luis Castillo coming up on Middle Miss from behind. Referee talking to him, no card. But it will be the Soul with the ball here in the 10th minute. And looks like this will be played by Tyler Hurst. 2-man set, and it will be Hurst to kick it off. Middle Miss all over the field right now. He has been some sideline to sideline, and the Stompers now have the ball going back.
So you can see anytime the Stompers win the ball, they got 2 or 3 guys kind of sprinting forward into attacking positions. And
Tallerman gets taken down in the box, and we are going to have a – no, they're saying that it is
penalty
on
kick?
No.
No, it's going to be
a penalty kick.
Penalty kick. I'm not sure I agree with that one there.
Yeah, Tallerman took that into the box. You can see getting inside the 18.
A little bit of contact, but I'm not sure that's worthy of a penalty kick at this stage. But I guess easy to say from up here. Referee was in good position, but certainly looked like one that might have been a little bit of a dive as well.
So Tallerman versus Jones. We'll take a look at that after the kick. Tallerman, a right-footed kicker. Jones ready. And he goes weak side and scores. So the Stompers get an early penalty kick in the 11th minute, and it is JT Tallerman who puts the Stompers on the board. It is 1-0 San Francisco. Penalty kick scored
so you can
by
see
number
Eric
6,
Larson challenging.
JT Tallerman of the Stompers.
Definitely some contact there, but not sure that. Yeah, from this angle, it's hard to tell for sure, but definitely contact was there, but whether or not it was worthy of a penalty kick this early remains to be the official's call.
And
so.
I guess my question there is it the angle? Is it the fact that maybe the referee thought that it was in on Tallerman from behind too much? You think that maybe that was the key?
Yeah, I think he kind of came in kind of from the behind and a little bit to the side. So, the Tallerman did a good job of kind of selling it, so to say, and referee certainly made his decision.
Summer Skills plays it up, but Tallerman will recover. And now the Soul have an opportunity as they recover. That's Hurst on the side, playing the middle, left-footed kick, and he sails this way over the goal, and it will be a goal kick for the Stompers.
Well, it's certainly going to challenge the Soul here to get back in this because I think, for the Stompers, certainly their game plan it couldn't have been any happier with an early goal because now they can really condense that field even more and only pick their chances to go forward when they have to. But the Soul, there's still a lot of time left in this game, so it's early going.
And the Soul trying to keep possession in the Stompers' half of the field, but Tallerman doing a great job of getting the ball out of danger, and the Stompers will try and play it up.
Summerscales plays the ball through. Middle Miss unable to collect it, but pops loose.
And now the ball is just moving all over that half of the field there. Now the Soul have a shot as Middle Miss plays it back. Hurst couldn't come up with it. It'll be Tallerman now for the Stompers. Playing it up the left sideline. Blocked off there pretty well by Varnador, and he'll get it over middle of the pitch for Summerscales to play with. And he'll send it high up in the air. Playing in that middle two-thirds right now. You're talking about if you're talking about football, between the 30s, so to speak.
Yeah.
But right now, neither team can break through, it seems.
So I think these situations, finding their midfielders, finding that extra player. Although right now the extra player is outside in the back, but you can see them as they move the ball. They start to suck the Stompers out a little bit, and sometimes it'll create some space for some balls in behind as well. So I think for the Soul, they just need to stick to their game plan, keep possession of the ball, keep the ball moving, find the extra players, work off a middle miss up top, and then I think one of the keys is going to be getting the midfield involved, not just in behind, but or in the midfield, but also seeing if we can get some dangerous runs in behind.
You can see the Soul playing with 3 back. They technically have 4 defenders in right now, but they're playing 3 back and letting the midfielders come up for any type of support. Now a run on for the Stompers, but it's cleared out by Daly. And now back to the goalie for Jones to boot up the field. And high up for that goes that was Boya Carr for the Stompers, who made that great play earlier in the match, about the 5th minute on that attempted goal.
And he's one of their key returning players. I spoke with one of the coaching staff, and said that he's been kind of a fixture with the team and somebody they rely on for that type of play, I guess.
Right. And Summerscales went a little bit over the back there, and it'll be a free kick for the Stompers. We'll see if they have a set they like here.
Yeah, these are dangerous because these are situations where the Stompers can, push more players on, although they still have several players back. But they can commit some more numbers and know that, if they don't get an opportunity out of it.
And Jones is going to go up and take that. And we'll see if there's a rush back on for the Soul. Now they're just going to get in position and try and work the ball up the field if they can. Yes. Nice flick there to get to the outside. And now Daly has it midfield. We'll kick it back out to the side. We'll see if we get a through. No, it will be back to the middle of the field. And now we're going to try and get a through up the field. Now Daly up the left side. And the Stompers do a good job of preventing that from happening, and they're saying it will be Stompers' ball will be a goal kick.
It was a nice sequence there for the Soul, 5-6 consecutive passes, quick passes, and end result, out for a goal kick. But, as all it takes is the timing to be perfect for that final pass, and next thing you know, they're on to goal. So,
kick on by Brett Weber, but the Soul do get the header, and they will control, but now the Stompers trying to regain it, and they do. They're going to go back up the left side, but that's a pass too strong for Tallerman of the left side, and it will be the Soul for a throw-in. We have entered the 17th minute here. It is 1-0 Stompers. Stompers getting a 12th minute penalty kick scored by Jacob Tallerman. And right now it is the lone goal in this game as another run for the Stompers. This time it's Pacheco up the right side, getting through, trying to go back, but we have it looks like a foul or a deflection. No, they're going to say it went off of Pacheco, and it'll be a goal kick.
Yeah, it was nice defending there by the Soul, recovering and sliding to block the attempted cross, but it looked like the ball was already out of bounds. So this one's going to stay with the Soul here.
Ball gets pushed to Varnador, and he's going to wait with it. The Soul trying to find some of that magic that made them very, very aggressive in the first 5 minutes, and where it looked like they were going to be the ones with all the pressure. But after that penalty kick and the goal that came from it, it seems like they're trying to just find their rhythm once more, and it looks like they might have it here.
Absolutely, an early goal would have been huge for the Soul, but the a goal really changes the dynamics of the game, and gave the Stompers team, you can see there a foul by Tyler Hurst. It gave the Stompers kind of a spark and some motivation, and obviously the Soul, it kind of puts you in a little bit more of a negative mindset, although there's plenty of time left. It gives you kind of that, oh, geez, we got to claw our way back in this game. So
a bad play by Leon there. The Soul are going to recover. It looks like Middlemiss is out on the left side of the box. He's looking to the middle. A little flick on and a great save by Weber, as that was for Hurst, and Hurst couldn't put it in on the one-timer.
What a great run by Middlemiss, and Hurst timed his run beautifully, and just his angle and his body position was a little bit tough to kind of deflect that with enough power to beat the keeper. But nice little sequence. Again, the Soul continue to create chances here, so they're going to come. They know they're going to get more chances. It's just a matter of leveling this game up and trying to get back in it.
That was the second really good run that the Soul have had. The closest goal they have didn't really come on a run that well. It was on a couple of deflections that get into the box. But right now, Middlemiss has definitely done his part up front for the Soul to try and tie this game up as we head into the 20th minute.
Absolutely. He's done a nice job, and he's kind of dropping into the midfield now. It looks like him and Hurst have switched, and I don't know if that's just to give Tyler a little breather or to maybe find Ross the ball a little bit more in the midfield. So, looks like they're switching back here.
Yeah.
But and I think when you have players interchanging like that, it can be tricky for the defense to kind of keep track of who's who and where are they. So that's to their advantage.
Eric Larson will play it back to Taylor Jones, and now they're going to go back up the left side now. Some room over there for Galvin, and he'll kick it up the right side, but that's looked like it was intended for Trevor Hurst, but Hurst didn't have nearly as good a run as maybe Galvin thought he did, and it will be a goal kick for the Stompers.
Yeah, you could see this turf field, so the artificial turf field, it's fast, and so natural grass, sometimes the ball slow down a little bit more, whereas on this field, it's a nice wide field, so there's plenty of space to play, but you can see the ball, it's just going to roll and roll. So the passes have to be pretty precise. Anything over hit's just going to run. Varnador doing a nice job chasing this down.
Good seal to get it up into the air and wait for some help defensively, but now Pacheco trying to make a run and back to make that play as Summer Scales again. And that's kind of a weak shot on goal by Noah Delgado, and it's easily corralled by Taylor Jones. So right now the Soul are trying to figure out the best way to get through this 9-man defense that the Stompers are putting on right now. And credit the Stompers for doing a great job of going sideline to sideline with the Soul. They really have done a good job with their cutoffs. Middlemiss has made a couple of good runs, but outside of that, the Soul have really had to work hard in the middle part of the field.
Yeah, no, I think the Stompers, have been up here enough to play that they respect the Soul and respect their, how they play and their ability to keep possession. And so, they're kind of sitting in, so to say, and need to definitely get some numbers forward in situations. But, the early goal certainly helping them gain that confidence to kind of stick to the game plan.
Pacheco tried a volley there, but it went wide of the goal. And now the Soul will control. Hurst trying to come up and make a play on this. And the Soul do have it.
Eric Larson pushing forward out of the right back position, plays Tyler Hurst here.
Tyler waiting, will get it back to his defense again as this is Chris Daly playing back and forth with him. Soul really trying to get an over pursuit here, but it's not happening. Pacheco tried to get a run on for the Stompers, but the Stompers do recover. And they have possession right now. So the Stompers trying to make a move back up the field, and now they're going to try and get into a control game. But good run by Middle Miss there to force the pressure and get the ball back over to the Soul.
So I was told earlier that Luis Castillo, who they call Luigi in the back for the Stompers, is going to be coming to Sonoma State to play. So he'll be playing in this area quite a bit.
That's right up the road. And there's a shot into the box there by Hurst, and now that is going to go out on the side, so it will not be a corner, but it'll be a throw-in directly into the box if they choose here. We'll see what Hurst wants to do.
So you can see with the Stompers kind of sitting in here, somebody like Corey Toffer finding a long shot could be an answer here. Ball's played in on the top of the box because you can see the spaces there.
No flag up as Middle Miss is onside. He sends it in the box, but they're going to get a corner kick out of it. Middle Miss with a good run. Good touch there, too, by Larson to get it to him on that 1-2.
Absolutely.
And now they're going to get a good corner here for Hurst.
You know, for as deep as the Stompers are defending, the Soul are finding some situations in behind them in moments. So look for that to be maybe a chance that they develop later in this game for a cross and a quick goal.
Hurst back deep into the box, and it's pushed out by Weber. He saves a second opportunity and a third. It looks like Daly had a shot on there. That was the last opportunity. And I believe that might have been Galvin who had the second one off the first deflection. So the Soul doing a good job there of getting their opportunities in the box, but the Stompers are there to play with it. Now Pacheco has a shot up the right side, trying to flick on, but can't. And it is a high ball play, and it will go back to the Soul.
There's a nice ball there by Delgado, who is actually the captain of the Puerto Rican national team. So he's somebody that brings a lot of experience to this team for the Stompers.
We've entered the 25th minute here at Cougar Stadium. It is 1-0 Stompers as the penalty kick in the 12th minute by Jacob Tallerman is the only goal we have so far. And the Stompers now gain possession. And it'll be Daly playing it up the field, but the Stompers get a steal right back. And Daly held his ground very well there as the Stompers tried to advance, as that was Noah Delgado who could not get it past the longtime Soul player. And it will be now the Soul controlling the ball back just across the midfield line, and now they're going to bring it up. There's Middle Miss trying to get loose, can't do it. And the Stompers gain control there with Jason Hadley kicking it up for Pacheco. He's got a run on, right side of the box. A great tackle there, but Pacheco gets it in and scores!
Wow.
Galvin had a great tackle, but Pacheco still controlled it and was able to get a right-footed kick to the right of the goalie, Taylor Jones, and it's 2-0.
2-0 to the Stompers. I think it was Varnador actually kind of chasing him down. You can see on the replay, ball and Varnador.
Graven Pacheco.
Good first tackle, but then the ball popped loose, and Pacheco does a nice job, composed outside of the foot, kind of bends it past Taylor Jones. So the Soul got their work cut out for him here, and not going to be easy getting a goal in this game, let alone 2 or 3 if they want to win it. But a lot of time left on the clock, but the Soul have got to kind of inch their way back in with definitely a goal before half to change this game back.
Middle Miss playing it up the field. I believe that was Edgar Amador with the ball left side, but the deflection goes out, and we're going to get another corner kick. I believe this is the 4th one for the Soul already. So this is another one of those games where the Soul do have the possession advantage, but they're not getting back as well as they probably could be on some of these counterattacks.
Yeah, I mean, that was we get a corner kick here, ball played in.
And it goes actually on the other side of the box, and it's almost cleared out, but it will be a goal kick for the Stompers.
Yeah, but like we were talking about earlier, that perfect example of counterattacking there, ball played through to Pacheco, who ends up being 1v1. Varnador actually did a pretty good job, defending him and getting in on a tackle, but unfortunately the ball popped loose and fell right to Pacheco. At that point, Varnador was on the ground, and Pacheco did a nice job of, kind of bending it past Taylor Jones.
And I don't think Jones expected a shot on goal that quickly. I think he expected Pacheco to try and settle himself more. Pacheco basically got up and kicked it right away.
Yeah, he definitely played quickly, which was to his advantage.
Another run on here for the Stompers, but this time the Soul are back to stop that run. Controlling the back, and a goal kick here for Jones goes way up into the air, trying to play it up for Amador, but it is taken by the Stompers. Now the Stompers controlling their half. And Tallerman was waiting for his man to move forward, Delgado, but no one was there. And now they give back. Pacheco's open in the box, trying to leave it back, and that is way over the goal. As Gustavo Tavera Rico actually kicks this almost off of the stadium grounds entirely.
I think that one's still coming down.
Yeah.
You might have to scrape the ice off of that one, but hey, you're going to miss any shot you don't take. So at some point, they got a couple on the board and missed a few as well, but you got to like his at least desire to get a shot on goal.
2-0 Stompers. We're just about to enter the 30th minute of play here in the first half, and boy, what the Stompers have been able to do so far with their counterattack game has really made things difficult for the Soul. And the Soul, for the most part, have actually done a very good job in controlling. They just have not been able to get back when the Stompers do get their counterattacks going.
For sure. I think that, if you charted possession, probably be about 64, yeah. 60-40, something like that. But, it's again, in the end, it's about scoring goals, and Stompers have taken their chances well. So the one thing generally when you possess the ball like they do, it wears on teams, so they're having to defend quite a bit. Generally, defending is a little more tiring than attacking. So maybe as this game wears on, that might catch up with the Stompers, but that remains to be seen.
Tyler Hurst will have a throw in here for the Soul. Up the right sideline, trying to play it into the box. There's Daly coming over. And looks like a push from behind. And now that's outside the box, but that'll be an interesting free kick for the Soul.
Yeah, it'll almost be like a corner kick, about 8-10 yards closer to goal, which makes it a little bit more dangerous. And I think it's going to be Hurst on the ball. And you can see Varnador and Summerscales pushing up. And at this point, Soul's committing almost their entire team to being, either in the box or on top of the box.
Hurst playing it deep into the back of the box, but goes over everybody's head and out for a goal kick.
I think one of the keys here with some of their crosses, the Soul have found themselves in some good situations, that being one of them. And the cross just has to be a little bit sharper. They had 4 or 5 runs there. Hurst, unfortunately, played a little bit too heavy. And so connecting on those crosses is going to be key.
So the Soul, they had a good shot there, but it gets headed right back to Weber, and Weber will pick it up and will retain possession for the Stompers. You can see the Soul now going to try and play their own pressure game in their back of their half of the field, and they do make something of it as Hurst controls. And now, actually, excuse me, that was Amador who was controlling on that side as Hurst was running the other side, but the Soul get a throw in here.
Yeah, it looks like they switched sides with Amador and Hurst. So got Hurst. Hurst is a natural lefty and often plays on the right just to be able to cut in and maybe have some shots. But now you see him on the left side again.
Opportunity for a flick there, not taken advantage of, but the Stompers do get it back, and you can see Middle Miss running all over their half of the field trying to get that ball back. And now the Stompers play up and continue to retain possession now into the 33rd minute. Another ball up the field for Pacheco, running up that right side, and he is going to get to it, but it looks like it did. It went off of the foot of Summerscales, and it will be a corner kick for the Stompers, only their second of the game so far.
Well, I think early, or not early, but here in this first half, the combination that's been the most lethal has been Delgado finding Pacheco in behind.
Right.
And so I think the Soul need to do a little better job of putting pressure on Delgado and not giving him that ability to play that ball. And then obviously tracking Pacheco, certainly he's the lone striker a lot of times.
Ball into the box, but we do have a foul inside, and it will be a goal kick for the Soul. Yeah, Pacheco and Tallerman have done a great job of running the sides. They've really made it difficult for the Soul's defense if they come up too far. You don't normally. I guess you would say, Chris, you don't want your defense to get maybe too far up towards midfield, maybe about halfway towards midfield, because if you do get that counterattack going, you're not going to be able to get back nearly enough time on a good run.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit. It depends on the situation. If you have the ball, then obviously inching forward and supporting the attack. But in those moments when you lose the ball, that's when you got to decide, do we drop in and kind of protect the space, or do we stay a little higher? And I would say, right now the way that the Soul are kind of given that space in behind, they just got to be aware of having pressure on the ball in the midfield, because if they have pressure on the ball, then the space in behind doesn't get exploited as much. But again, easy to say from up here.
Amador with the throw-in for the Soul, trying to play it to the middle. Almost a handball, and it is going to get called.
This would be a great opportunity for the Soul, definitely within a shooting distance here. If they can get somebody there about 20 yards from the goal, maybe 25.
Right, and Tyler Hurst tried to actually run up and make a quick kick. But it looks like it'll be a proper set piece for the Soul, and we'll see what type of wall is up for the Stompers. It looks like, no, they are going to go for the quick kick, and it did not work. They did. They tried Varnador out on a quick kick, and I'm not even sure if maybe that was the play that was on. And you can see Varnador and Chris Daly talking a little bit about what that play was like, but they take a quick kick off of what was a great opportunity.
For sure. I think Varnador saw something. He and Hurst were on the ball, and Varnador saw something that maybe he liked, maybe an opening. And, Varnador in his day has scored quite a few goals at Sonoma State, so sometimes you just got to trust that instinct, and that one didn't pay off.
Possession being played for as Middle Miss controls. And now we have a tie-up, and we'll see it is going to go with the Stompers, as it looked like that was Tyler Hurst who got tangled up there. And indeed,
I think one of the keys for the Soul is to not get frustrated. You can see them, they're down 2-0 and trying to kind of fight their way back in this game. But the last thing they need is, a red card or really to slow the game down with a lot of fouls, because time is there. The time is theirs now, and San Francisco's happy to let Soul foul them and, milk the clock, so to say. So Soul's got to be careful not getting into that too early.
We're now in the 36th minute of play, 2-0 Stompers. And it will be a goal kick for the Soul there as Pacheco tried to make another run. Goals in the 12th minute by Jacob Tallerman, and in the 26th minute for Graven Pacheco. As the Stompers and their counterattack, their 4-5-1 set, paying dividends in this first half. Ball played back to Taylor Jones, and now the Soul are going to inch the ball forward. Run up the field as Middle Miss comes over to play it. Now over right side, Amador, he cannot get to him. And it will be back up the field for the Stompers to clear it out.
Varnador does a nice job settling a tough ball there. Finds Toffer, who finds Eric Larson.
And now Toffer will get it right back near the midfield stripe and kick it through. Nice pass there to get up the pitch. And now we got a good run on for the Soul.
Hurst on the ball.
Can't get it to Amador.
Unlucky. Amador looking to get him behind, and Hurst trying to find him to his feet. So just a little miscommunication there. Amador's relatively new to the Soul lineup, and probably still trying to get on the same page with everybody. But he's done some nice stuff here early.
Oh, bad throw-in, and the Soul could have a possession here as Middle Miss does. Middle of the pitch. This is a good shot for Hurst, and it's a save. And a beauty once more. That time Brett Weber ranging to his left. Middle miss with his third great chance. And the Soul just cannot get one through.
You can see in the replay here, Hurst did a nice job. Good shot on frame, forced the keeper into save, and Weber, at this point has done what he's been asked to.
Deep cross, but it's going to get kicked back out. And now a shot on is wide.
Toffer does a nice job of just kind of hanging at the top of the box for that second ball and hit a nice volley. Just kind of looks like it shot off to the right, but did a nice job of connecting on that.
So two good opportunities for the Soul there. And when you go in at the half, we are getting close to halftime here at Cougar Stadium. You have to think that even though they're down 2-0, they're going to look at a lot of these chances they've had and be happy with them.
Absolutely.
They really are.
Absolutely. If they were down 2-0 and haven't created any chances, then I think that's where you'd be a little bit concerned. If they could get on the board before half, I think it would be a big boost here for the Soul to kind of claw their way back into it. But if not, they're going to have some work to do in the second half. And, one of the things at halftime, the Stompers are going to reorganize and kind of regroup. So it's not going to be any easier in the second half. So I think getting a goal here would be crucial.
Daly's going to play it up to Amador. And now a little triangle is kicking it back towards the middle. Was Eric Larson, but nothing there. And now Daly will kick it back far side.
Galvin plays it out wide to Hurst. Hurst looking to do his magic out on the side. Tries to find middle miss, but not quite hard enough.
So the Stompers recovering nicely after those two great opportunities for the Soul as we head towards the 40th minute. Summer Scales plays it up, and now it'll be towards the middle of the pitch coming over, but without a play is Hurst, and now it's just sitting there free for anybody. Now Hurst has it. Top of the box, his shot wide to the left. And it will be a goal kick for the Stompers.
Hurst finding some space in behind there on the midfield and doing a nice job of getting a shot off. Not quite as dangerous as he'd like, but again, finding chances, and now they just need to find a way to capitalize and get one in the back of the net.
Nice play up there by Varnador, and the ball's going to get wide and out of bounds, and it's actually going to go with the Soul. So the deflection there looked like it went off of Luis Castillo.
Varnador presence in the air, as you can see, just towered and timed it well. Eric Larson on the ball here finds Toffer.
Now looking back, so Soul have all 10 field players, but that's going to be offsides as the flag goes up. Amador's run was a bit too early, and the Stompers will have a free ball.
So you can see anytime the ball goes out of play or stops, Stompers taking their time, and they're going to really try to milk this clock here and get to halftime up 2-0. Soul on the other side, you can see a little, not frantic, but, a little bit more of an energy and just really trying to get the ball back, get it back in play, and up the tempo a little bit because they need to get back in this one here.
And now a turnover, and Pacheco's going to try and make a run 1-on-5, but will now push it back out. Stompers with some control time here in the 41st. They have a chance. Now gets it over to Tallerman, left side. A one-on-one. A good defense there. A great play by Eric Larson to get it out of his way, and it's going to be a goal kick. The pressure there by Larson. No, they're saying it actually went off of Larson, so Tallerman's going to have a corner. So Tallerman will leave it. And the Stompers already up 2-0 with their third corner kick.
Looks like Delgado's going to take this here, and I think part of that was just to kill 20 seconds and exchanging roles there.
The right-footed kick from the left corner sends it in. It's a shallow cross, and it's knocked out well by the Soul. And now goes up to Middle Miss. Middle Miss has control amongst 5 Stompers, trying to clear it out, and does. Hurst is up the left side. Waiting for Middle Miss to actually make his run, and now he comes middle of the field. Looking up the field. Gets it back. Trying to play it up for Middle Miss, but a good play there by Cordova Marroquin to keep it for the Stompers. And now Pacheco trying to make his own run up the right side. Cut off there by Summer Scales. And now the Soul will control with 42 minutes gone by in this first half. Daly up the field looking for Amador. He's on here. Plays it off the chest. A 1-1 outside the box. Great move to get inside, and that deflection goes out, and it will be another corner.
Corner kick here. All right, looks like maybe they called the goal kick.
Maybe they're saying there was a foul in the play. No, it was referee's coming over, and there is an issue. It looks like there's an injury. Noah Delgado, his left leg, it looks like. He did actually come over towards the bench. It might be one of those things where...
Looks like he's coming off.
He is.
Wow, that's a lucky break for the Soul. You hate to see anybody go down injured, but he's had a big impact on the game. So it looks like he's going to be replaced here by
Jason Borges.
Yeah.
But the substitution is not official yet. The Stompers will play with 10 for the time being until the next stopped ball. Playing up his summer scales, and it's going to go long. And the goalie actually probably should have let that go out of bounds to get his man in, but he comes up to play it anyway. And the Stompers content to play with 10 here in the 43rd. Summer scale controlling again. And now we'll play it back.
I think one of the keys here is the Stompers are kind of over shifting, leaving that opposite forward open. And if the Soul can find, you know, that dangerous diagonal ball either to Hurst or Armador, then I think that's going to open up some situations that are dangerous for the Soul.
Weber will kick it out of bounds, and they will get Borges in, so we will have a substitution. Substitution for the Stompers, replacing Noah Delgado, is number 13, Jason Borges. So Jason Borges will enter for the injured Delgado. As we said, coming off, looked like a leg injury to his left. No word on how much stoppage time there will be. Not much, we're assuming, probably in the 2-minute range. But we have gone past the 43rd, and we'll keep an eye on the referees as we head towards halftime.
Official times kept on the field with Vince Apple Chirella, who's the center official here today. And usually the stadium clock stops at 2 and then ticks down, and the referee takes over from there.
Not too many stoppages. We did have the penalty kick and obviously the injury. You would think that at most it would be about a minute or two.
Yeah, I wouldn't think there'd be more than 2 minutes at this point, but and the injury to Delgado, I think, you know, was one that was handled pretty quickly most of while the ball was still in play.
Now a ball up the pitch for the Soul, and they're trying to control, maybe get one last run here if they can, and they will get a throw in.
So he's going to hold up the number of added minutes here. I think Coach Vinny Cortezo is trying to convince him maybe there's a little more time. 1 minute. 1 minute, so
1 more minute to go here. And that goes off of the Stompers there. It looked like Jason Hadley went off of him. And now ball into the pitch, and Weber comes up and makes a good play.
Credit to Weber. He's done a nice job, and you know, he's had quite a bit to do this first half, and he's came up pretty solid for the Stompers.
Soul trying to get one more run here. Amador up the right side with Daly now.
Soul got to realize they're limited on time here. Try to find route 1 to goal.
But that foul there by Tyler Hurst will most likely turn the ball over to the Stompers. The Stompers won't exactly hurry to the ball. And it looks like that is halftime. That is the half. At the half, it is Stompers 2,
trails
Soul nothing.
2-0 here at the half. So they're going to have some work to do here in the second half. And I imagine the Stompers will kind of regroup and reorganize, which is going to make their job a lot harder, or the Soul's job a lot harder, I should say. But still 45 minutes left, so right. Soul have definitely created enough chances to be on the board here. You know, a shame one of those early chances probably could have sent this game in a different direction and maybe forced the Stompers to come out and play a little differently. But luck would have it, obviously the Stompers get on the board with a penalty kick.
Right. And so word here from our sponsors is CP Photography, Roanoke Park Chamber of Commerce, Nicholson Ranch, Bridge School of Santa Rosa, and Sonoma County Alliance, the affiliated youth soccer club of the Sonoma County Soul, helping us put on this broadcast here on all the Sonoma County networks with Comcast Cable. And we thank you for joining us this evening. And we'll take a quick break for a proper word from our sponsors and return with some more words at the half here. It is 2-0 Stompers over Soul. We'll be back with more here on your local Comcast network. Welcome back here to Cougar Stadium in Rancho Cotati High School, Roanoke Park, California. We are ready for the second half of action here between the hosting Sonoma County Soul and the visiting San Francisco Stompers. The Stompers lead 2-0 thanks to 2 goals, one off a penalty kick and another great goal on a great attempted tackle by the Soul, but a great play by Pacheco to keep it going. Tallerman had the penalty kick goal for the Stompers. And Chris, if you take a look at what happened in the first half, right before we went on air, we were saying what adjustments can be made, and really, the way both teams play, you don't think there's going to be much.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Soul have created chances. I think for them, key is going to be getting an early goal, kind of getting back in this game. At 2-0, obviously, you're not really in danger of losing the game. But if the Soul were to get one back, then it becomes more of a sense of urgency. I think also the transition for the Soul, just as when the Stompers do push up, making sure that the Soul transitions a little bit quicker and maybe takes advantage of that. And then I think maybe getting some long shots. They haven't been able to find that ball underneath that because they are so condensed, maybe getting some shots from 15, 20, 25, 30 yards and challenging the Stompers from there.
The Stompers will be without Noah Delgado, who got injured near the end of the first half. He was replaced by Jason Borges in the midfield. And it will be Borges who will handle the kickoff duties in the second half for the Stompers. So the Soul and Stompers switch sides. The Stompers actually have a 2-0 lead here at Cougar Stadium. The Soul will remain in their 4-3 their 4-3-3 format with the Stompers. They're not going to change theirs either. They're going to play that 4-5-1. They're going to be a counterattacking team. And they've gotten great runs from both Pacheco and Tallerman all night.
Yeah, I think for the Soul, it'll be interesting to see what changes Coach Vinny Cortezo makes. I mean, system-wise, they could certainly play a 3-3-4, maybe push somebody like Varnador, to work alongside Middle Miss and maybe have an extra attacking player. They could also, it's hard to get much more attacking than a 4-3-3. Maybe play a little bit more direct at times, but. For the Stompers, I think as we kick off here, they just got to kind of keep to their game plan because so far it's been pretty darn solid.
The sponsors again: CP Photography, the Roanoke Park Chamber of Commerce, Nicholson Ranch, the Bridge School of Santa Rosa, and the Sonoma County Alliance, the affiliated youth club of the Sonoma County Soul. They begin the second half on a good run here for the Stompers, but it's retrieved by Taylor Jones, and it will be the Soul controlling after the first 30 seconds. So you can see the Stompers up 2-0. They're quote-unquote playing with the house money right now. They're going to be aggressive when they feel they need to. They have 5 men back on a regular basis with a midfielder dropping back every now and then. But the Soul, as you said, I think you have to play the long game. A couple of long passes is really going to help things.
I think the ball that's been on is the kind of the long diagonal ball and finding their winger, so either Amador or Hurst.
But here's a counter for the Stompers as Borges got the steal, but it's kicked out there by Miguel Galvan, and it'll actually be kept in by the Soul on the far side. So there's that long diagonal you're talking about, and coming up the middle, but it is deflected out.
And it looks like Tyler Hurst is playing a little bit deeper, almost like a fourth forward. So I don't know if that's, just in this situation or if that's something that they plan to do. But certainly not a bad idea just to get an extra player to work off a middle miss and make that space a little bit smaller.
Chris Daly playing it up the right side, looking for Amador on that far side of the pitch, and he actually did step out, and it will be the Stompers' ball.
Yeah, at some point, if the Stompers continue just to play with one, although it's dangerous in the transition and it would open up some more space for them in the counterattack, maybe pushing Varnador up top and having Summerscales, kind of marshal that center back position by himself. And, at some point, you don't want to make that move too early and give up a third goal. But at some point, you don't want to wait too long and not fight your way back into the game. So it's always a tough, with timing. And I think Coach Cortezzo is going to be looking to see how these first 15 minutes go and then make the necessary adjustments to try to, get back in the game.
Good flick there to get that started, but it is a pass wide, actually, of the box, and it will be a goal kick for the Soul. Yeah. At this point, it is going to be difficult to find those openings if, like you said, as the Stompers continue to play that defense. If you look right at the midfield, they have 6 back right now. And, the Soul trying to move it, inch it forward, find those holes, and they found some luck in the middle, and they're going to go back to the middle there as Middle Miss comes up. But he loses his footing and gives it right back.
Yeah, I think the Soul, there's some space in between the lines of the Stompers, so they're actually, for as much as they're dropping off, and sometimes there's some space in between their defenders and midfield, you can see kind of a little gap in there, and then the same thing in between their one forward, and so, really trying to find the space, and you can see Hurst working in that space, and now they just got to find each other, and because that's where they're here, these situations. It's where they'll be dangerous.
And there is Tyler Hurst moving it up the left side to his brother Trevor. And Trevor will stomp it on the left side and try and keep it in, but there's that pressure once again by the Stompers as Carr will help push it back up, and now Pacheco controls it midfield, but it is kicked out, and it looks like that was Varnador who may have gotten fouled as he was trying to clear it out, and he draws a foul. So a quick touch for the Soul here, and they're once again trying to control the field as much as they can. They get Hurst open left side. Now the field looking to get it through, and they do get a throw in here as it almost hit our cameraman down below. But the Soul will retain possession.
So you can see the Soul kind of intentionally trying to find Hurst underneath the forwards, and I think that's a good plan because there is that space that I was talking about, and if they suck the defenders into that space, then there's going to be space for Daly or Toffer in the midfield. So,
but there's a turnover.
And that's the challenge.
A great run by Tallerman, left side of the box, and a save. A good run there by Tallerman, but Taylor Jones was up for the challenge.
I tell you, Tallerman's been a dangerous player on that left side. Obviously, he drew the foul for the goal, the initial goal.
The penalty kick, right?
Yeah, but, nice run there, and he's been a kind of a thorn on the side of the Soul team here.
You can see there a hold on Pacheco as he was trying to get around Summerscales, and it will be a free kick in a good spot for the Stompers, and it will be a card.
Yeah.
So that intentional grabbing by Summerscales is the first card. Yellow card given
looks
to
like
Summerscales. Number 23, Lee Summerscales.
Misjudged the
free
bounce
kick for the Stompers
on the throw-in, and then kind of got put in a situation where he either had to give him entry to the goal or kind of hold him up, and obviously he chose holding him up there.
So Gustavo Tavera Rico will have this set piece for the Stompers. A two-man wall for the Soul right now, and you can see the Stompers really going light in the box, only 5 men, but maybe trying to get the Soul to mix up their defensive responsibilities here. And now a wide berth and a left-footed kick, and they're actually going right after it, and it goes after the crossbar. That was a great try by Tavera Rico. A great bender, but that just gets right over the top of the crossbar.
I got to admit, I thought he was going to hit a right-footed cross, and did a nice job there of kind of circling around and hitting a left-footed shot. So you can see here with the replay, spins the ball in and just doesn't quite drop, but not far off from being a real dangerous opportunity there.
And Jones was right there at the peak of his jump to take the top part of that, had it drop down a little bit, so maybe there wasn't an opportunity there at all, but still a very nice set for Tavera Rico. And now the Soul recover and are trying to chip away at this 2-goal deficit. Now the pressure on and a good play on that long diagonal like you showed to Trevor Hurst. And Hurst trying to play the middle but can't, and it's cleared out.
Yeah, you can see the Stompers are kind of over-shifting, and so that weak side ball is on. The key is a good, precise pass and being able to settle it quickly. And if they can do that, they're going to find themselves in some good 1v1 situations and even some good dangerous crossing situations.
So Amador on that far side trying to make something happen on a one-on-one. Nice through ball to the middle, but it's cleared out there by Jesus Leon, and now a run on for Pacheco, and he thought he got fouled, held up there by Varnador once more, but no call. And now the Soul have it back. And now Hurst trying to clear himself, and now he gets fouled by Tavera Rico, and it's a free kick for the Soul.
You know, interesting because real similar situation where Varnador kind of held up, but you can see Hurst, little flick there. And then, yeah, you can see he grabs him, slows him down, and, you know, kind of a tactical foul is what they say. Slows him down. And very similar to what Summerskills did. So when he gave Summerskills a card, he almost has to go back to his card there to honor it the same way.
No card looks to be given, although the referee is taking his time and now has declared the free kick for Hurst.
But you can see
big box
for sure. They're really pushed up. So Hurst is going to have to try to find that space in between the defensive line and the goalkeeper.
No offsides play for the Stompers here. Into the box it goes. Deep cross, but it's headed straight up in the air, and it's deflected out, and it will be a goal kick for the Stompers. So Weber will corral it and will kick it away here as we have now entered the 55th minute of play. 2-0, Stompers with the lead. A 12th minute goal by Jacob Tallerman on a penalty kick, and a 26th minute goal by Graven Pacheco. And now a substitution, the second one of the match for the Stompers. As coming on will be Amin Abalil, and he will be replacing, it looks like he's replacing Tallerman.
That's an interesting sub because like we were talking about, Tallerman really a threat to the Soul, and you know, a sub like this, generally you're going to find someone that brings fresh legs in.
Substitution there for the Stompers. Number 7, Amin Avalil enters the game, replacing number 6, Jacob Tallerman.
So where Tallerman maybe was a little more offensive-minded, you know, maybe Armin's going to come in and be a little more defensive-minded. But, you know, fresh legs in a game like this can definitely be an advantage. And so a little bit surprising that he took out Tallerman, but obviously he knows his roster better than we do.
Good through there by Tavera Rico, and he still has it. He pushes it up the right side. A little left-footed cross, but that's going to go way too deep, and it will result in a goal kick for the Soul. He had Pacheco up the left side of the box, but you know, that left-footed kicker going up the right side, that's a difficult play to make.
For sure.
Soul actually got a side out there, and it's going to go right back to Jones, who kicks it high in the air, but right in the vicinity of a couple of Stompers. It's a good opportunity. Tavares Rico trying to boot down that volley, but it is a foul, and it looks like it will be turned over to the Soul, as Borges, I think, had an illegal touch there.
As you can see, the Soul pushing through with Summerskills and finding that dangerous ball. It's a great ball, but you can see, you know, not quite settling the ball to be able to be dangerous out wide. That was Amador, and now the Soul got it back, so hopefully they can capitalize here.
You can see, just look at how many players the Stompers are playing back in their third of the field. This is incredible to have that many players back. I mean, you're up 2-0, you have the lead to protect, but even then the Soul are really going in to some difficult territories, and I think right there Tyler Hurst tried to do a bit too much, getting himself into the corner, and now a clear up by the Stompers.
Yeah, I think, like we said, the transition is important. So when the Stompers have the ball and are attacking, and the moment Seoul wins the ball, I think the Stompers are most vulnerable because as they, the longer the Seoul buildup takes, the more they inch back and the more compact they are. So, but you can see on the far side, Amador is wide open. So it's just a matter of finding him and having him be able to settle that ball. But not an easy pass to hit.
No, not at all. And you can see the only person who's actually really tried that on a regular basis is either Varnador or Summerscale. It's only
Sure.
2 players.
For sure.
And they're attacking from the backfield, and that's something that is somewhat odd, but it's something that the Soul has to do. Daly tried a nice triangle there, but it gets taken back. Hurst trying to head it up to Daly coming up the left side of the box, but it's cleared out there by Carr, who's been very good defensively. We already talked about that play in the 5th minute where he slid towards the goal line to kick out a loose ball and save what would have been the first goal of this match. And really, if we look back on it, has been the turning point because that early goal could have meant a lot.
Absolutely.
Good run here on the outside by Galvin, but he cannot control, and now a counter for the Stompers. But back to corral it for the Soul is Varnador, and he'll get it to Jones to play back out amongst his defensemen.
Soul does a nice job going from being under pressure to having the ball in possession there. Finding middle miss.
You can see Hurst trying to play around there with Tavera Rico, getting into some space, and does. Now gets it to middle miss. Middle miss, a right-footed shot, and a good deflection there as Luis Castillo got in between that shot. Now the Soul will recuperate. Now a long shot there from about 35 yards out by Daly, and that's wide.
I think that might have been
Actually,
Varnador pushing out of the back.
Right.
Yeah, but those situations there, middle miss hit a nice shot. Looked like it was going to be on frame and unfortunately got deflected. But then Varnador pushing in and taking some opportunities. Like I said earlier, as the Stompers drop in, that might be where the space is, where they can push in and have some shots from distance, kind of suck them out to pressure the ball, and then maybe create some space in behind.
Good volleying here, but the Stompers have it. Cleared out as Pacheco made a run. And now it's Tavares Rico, who kicks it right off of the right shoulder of Trevor Hurst, but the Stompers get the loose ball. Borges, but he hands it right back to Toffer. Can the Soul break through? We're right there at the 60-minute mark, and the Soul, after their first half where they had so many great chances, they really only had one here in the second. And that 2-0 lead for the Stompers has really made their defense strong. They haven't had to take as many opportunities to try and counterattack up with that two-goal lead. But right now the Soul seem to be trying to figure out as many different ways as they can to get it into those open spaces that defense does have.
Yeah, the Soul are looking. They're spreading the ball wide. They're bringing it up the middle. They're playing direct. They're possessing it. And they just haven't found the necessary ingredients to score, but they're going to need to get back in this game here quickly because the longer this goes 2-0, the more difficult it's going to be to obviously get 2 goals, let alone 3 to try to win it. So at this point, if the Soul can get back in and score 1 and then kind of make a game of it for the last 10, 15 minutes, I think that would be their best hope at this point. To think at this point they're going to come back and win it might be a little bit of a stretch, but even just to make it interesting would be their goal.
That was Trevor Hurst looking for Tyler, but Tyler was offsides, and the ball turned back over to the Stompers. Stompers trying to control the midfield, but to no avail as the Soul are able to get it back, and Amador actually come back towards the midfield line to play that ball. Trying to go up the right side with Middle Miss, who shifts over. Now Middle Miss on the outside will play it back to his midfielders. Middle Miss still on that outside, playing with Amador, who shifted in, and the Stompers do get the turnover, trying to play it up for Tavares Rico, and Tavares Rico, who moved up to the forward position after Tallerman got replaced by Abalil. Trying to make something happen from the Stompers. Nice deflection there by Varnador to keep that run from happening for the Stompers, and now the Soul trying to...
It's a great ball there by Toffer, finding that width.
Great ball in the middle, looking for Middle Miss. Middle Miss taken down from behind, and we will have a foul and a free kick just outside the box.
So that all started with Toffer finding that outlet pass, to Galvan, who played a nice ball in. And obviously Middle Miss doing a good job of finding that space and drawing the foul. Very dangerous here. You can see 2 or 3 players. You got Hurst, Middle Miss, and Varnadal all, wanting to get on the ball. In fact, they look almost like they're arguing who wants it. Right. Sometimes that can be a good thing when you have a lot of people confident.
Right.
But sometimes it can be a bad thing because, you're up there trying to figure out who's taking it.
Now remember the last time that the Soul had the free kick, Varnador went with the quick kick option.
You can see here, ball comes in, and just a little bit of push after the ball. Looks like Middle Miss and Hurst are going to be on this.
Middle Miss from the left side of the ball. He'll make the play. Bender just over the bar on the left side.
Unfortunate there. A little bit lower, and that's a goal. Had just a little bit too much height, but definitely was bending away from the goalkeeper, and not a bad effort there. But to be honest with you, that's got to be a goal if they want to fight their way back in.
Middle Miss was a good play with his front pressure, getting another goal kick.
He's been working hard. You can see him kind of urging his teammates on just to kind of up the pressure here. And at some point, the Soul have nothing to lose, all to gain with less than 30 minutes left.
The reigning player of the year. You can see Tavares Rico, he's been very active in the second half. We talked about him moving up in the spot previously taken by Jacob Tallerman, who had the penalty kick for the first goal. And now the Stompers are content to control the ball as much as they can, up 2-0.
Yeah, and the Stompers haven't had many sequences where they've connected 5-6 passes, but having said that, they have 2 goals and have been quite dangerous. There's been a lot of situations where just one dangerous pass and Pacheco kind of running onto it. So
we have a foul there as Amador on a tackle. Very aggressive play. No card, but it will be a free kick for the Stompers. And it will be Pacheco who will kick it from the left side. Light box here for the Stompers with only 5. Going to send it in. Low cross, and actually gets kicked out on a nice play there. I think that was Varnador coming in to kick it out for the Soul.
Clear. Looked like he slid and kind of connected with that.
Another clear out there. And the Soul continuing to move the ball back towards their half of the field. They're trying to keep possession as much as they can. We've now entered the 65th minute and still no goals to show for it, and really only 2 good chances so far in the second half. There's that middle cross again, but the deflection goes right to Tyler Hurst. Now back over to the left side for Trevor. Ooh, that was a good tackle there, but it was right on the man, no call. And up the field goes Tavares Rico, and he has been great in this second half for the Stompers. Middle of the pitch, the left footer deflected on his shot, and the Soul will recover.
Daly trying to flick it through there.
Nothing doing, and now the Soul in danger here as we've hit 65 minutes. Up the pitch, if this goes across that back line, could it be a corner? No, they are saying it did go off of a Soul player, and it will be a goal kick for Brett Weber. Weber's done great as well. He's had a great game. A couple of nice saves.
He's handled a lot of crosses. He's made some great saves and kind of just has done what's been asked of him. So I think he's got to be happy with his performance so far.
Middle Miss controlling midfield, trying to get through, and he does. Another great play, but a great tackle from behind, and we're going to have a foul. Now, I'll tell you what, Castillo looked like he had a clean play, but Leon comes up, grabs the ball, and we're going to have a scuffle, a short one. And he's going to bring Leon over on his own to talk to him about what happened.
I think Hurst.
And Trevor Hurst not happy with what's going on.
You can see Middle Miss, though, there on the replay. Wow, does a nice job kind of maneuvering his way through, and it looks like the referee thought there was an initial foul, gave the advantage, but it didn't play out, so he called it back.
So a good break here for the Soul, and now from about 25 yards out, another free kick.
Got Hurst and Varnador. Looks like Hurst going to line up left-footed.
And that goes right into the arms of Weber, who barely had to move. He found the hole, but it did not get high enough, I think, to make Weber think about it.
Yeah, I think the Summerskills does a nice job winning that ball in the air. The Soul's set pieces, their corner kicks haven't been that great. They haven't connected, and they've had some good, dangerous chances outside the box that, that if they continue to generate these, they need to find a way to score a goal there.
So Hadley with that play up the right side, and it will be a throw-in for the Stompers as Boya Carr will throw it in. Carr looking, can't find anybody, now finally gets it up.
Soul are going to be going to the bench here soon, I think.
And they do. They have a substitution ready, and it is Frank Besserell.
Local Sonoma product from Sonoma High School. Played here at Sonoma State University locally as well. So Soul, one of the teams, across the country, the NPSL, really a showcase for local talent. And the Soul do a nice job that everyone that plays has ties to the community, either growing up here, playing locally, at the Santa Rosa Junior College or Sonoma State, or having relocated the area. So it's a great chance for a lot of the young kids, kind of the next generation, to see a good local group on display.
Summerscale almost played it to Besserell on that one ball, but the Stompers get a turnover, and it's going to be corralled there by Taylor Jones on that cross and deflection. So we're about to enter the 70th minute, and the Soul still have nothing to show for a lot of good opportunities, especially in that first half. They've had 3 good ones in the second, but nothing to show for it so far. The 2 goals by the Stompers, the 12th minute penalty kick winner by Jacob Talonman, and the 26th minute goal by Graven Pacheco is what the Stompers have going for them so far. Good ball there to the left side. Now into the box and across for Middleman. It was intended for Middleman, but a good header on there, but it looks like that was Toffer.
Yeah, I think
that was actually Trevor Hurst.
Hurst got on the end of that. Middle Miss right behind him, but dangerous opportunity there.
So the Soul continuing to push hard. And you can see Middle Miss working hard. Now a little floater over the goal. He gets it! A beautiful goal by Middleman from 30 yards out. Floats it over the goalie, and the Soul have cut the deficit in half, 2-1.
I think the timing couldn't have been any better. Well,
for the Soul, that's number 2.
Maybe earlier, but you see Middle Miss does an outstanding job just realizing the goalkeeper's a little bit too far off his line.
Oh, beautiful.
And just chips it in. Looks like he's on the golf course with that, just the accuracy and the timing. But you can see that the scoring prowess that made him the National Player of the Year last year. And now we have ourselves a game. So at 2-1, Soul definitely back in this. Still 20 minutes remaining plus whatever stoppage time. And, whereas a few minutes ago we were talking about it looking kind of grim for the Soul, now they're right back in this for 20 minutes to make a game of it.
So the substitution during that was Besserell coming in for Chris Daly, so a Sonoman for a Sonoman. And there's Besserell right now playing it up the left side to Trevor Hurst. Hurst trying to get behind the defense. Now comes Middle, looking for Middle Miss. Middle Miss a flick back, but nothing there. And it'll be Andres Rico playing it off his shoulder and playing it up towards midfield.
And again, you can see the goal really gave the Soul some momentum and some energy here.
Playing the middle. Middle Miss looking to get through the defense again, but cannot. And it will be played back by the Stompers. Rico trying to get it up to Pacheco.
Varnador does a nice job kind of holding him off there.
No card.
And it looks like Besserell's gone to the outside back position, and they've pushed Eric Larson into his traditional midfield role and given Daly a breather. Daly obviously coming off a little bit of an injury stretch, so maybe they feel like bringing Eric Larson into the midfield will give him some fresh legs there.
The Besserell trying to play it up, but nothing there. It gets back to Andres, to Verarico, excuse me. And now the Soul will control it back deep on their own half.
Besserell getting some early touches there into Eric Larson.
Middle miss, has Besserell there. They're going to play it left side. That's a wide open space for Galvin. Galvin looking middle, can't find anybody. And now the Soul are starting to attack. They're starting to realize there's a lot of momentum there. As we have a couple of more substitutions. We already had Besserell coming in. And I believe this is Mateo Lupino coming in, replacing Ramon Garcia. Substitution for the Stompers.
You can definitely see as this game
number 4,
develops.
Mateo Lupino replacing number 15, Ramon Garcia.
The Soul have continued to find the ball and keep the ball and keep a presence on the ball. And whereas the Stompers, have continued to play counterattack. So you see coming in
Brito.
Looks like Brito, yeah. Replacing
replacing Amador, exactly.
Amador, yeah.
Substitution for the Soul, number 22, Alexis Brito entering the game, replacing Edgar Amador.
And I would say within probably about a 5-10 minute at most period, Coach Corteza will probably push one of his defenders up into the forward, bring an extra forward in. Although they're playing well, so sometimes that adjustment changes that.
Winning that ball there is Trevor Hurst, and now a free shot there. Earlier substitution, number 5, Frank Besserell, replacing number 21, Chris Daly.
See the ball played in, and
yeah, that's a foul by a car there. Good cross, and oh man, it just got under. A beautiful cross by Hurst, and it looks like that was Varnador coming up from the backside of the box. A good set, but it was just a bit too low for Varnador to get a good head on.
A dangerous, dangerous chance, and wow, that would have been perfect timing just to claw their way back into this game. They still have 16 minutes left plus added time, but you can see the Stompers trying to kind of take the wind out of the game a little bit here. Some subs, and the time is the Soul's now. The Stompers are happy to see this thing out at 2-1, whereas the Soul need to find their way back into it.
That was Abalil who was trying to play that ball from Tavera Rico, sideline to sideline. But now as we have entered the 75th minute of play, it is the Soul really trying to do everything they can to make a run on defense, and that's a great ball up for Hurst on the left side. Played well by Boya Carr. Carr getting it through, and it's cleared out by Leon. And now up the right side, wide open field once more for Tavares Rico. That's Pacheco trying to make a run, and we do have a foul as Pacheco used a bit too much force to try and get past Toffer.
That was a great ball earlier there by Summerskills finding Hurst.
And now Middle Miss trying to get behind. A great through ball. This is onside for Hurst. Left side. Into the box he goes. Middle Miss can't get there. And it'll be Carr clearing it out.
Another great chance for the Soul. You can definitely see they found their way back into this game.
Toffer playing back to cut off Pacheco, who has the second goal and is the decider right now for the Stompers.
I think those balls wide that they've been finding to Hurst, especially on the left side, have really been dangerous. A lot of crossing situations, and it's just they got to find that timing and the service to be. When the service is there and the timing and the run is there, then it gives you a chance to finish the goal.
So you can see the Soul really doing everything they can to push up the sidelines. It has been, like you said, those deep diagonals like we just saw. Really trying to push the full edges of the field. But some of those runs just have not been there. Although in the last 10 minutes, we have that goal by Middle Miss of that beautiful that beautiful goal, and then a couple of good opportunities since then.
Yeah, a couple half chances there.
And the Soul will have the ball here in control as we enter the 77th minute. Looks like we're going to have another substitution for the Stompers, as Sylvester Carr will enter the game. Brother Jacob, we talked about it, or Boy, excuse me, having a great game so far. Middle Miss coming over, trying to play that 50-50, and it will go off the pitch, and looks like it's going to stay with the Soul. So Sylvester Carr will come off, replacing Gustavo Tavera Rico, who's had a good second half with his run. So the Stompers really trying to keep their forwards fresh, it looks like.
I think for them,
Gustavo Tavera Rico off,
fresh
number
legs.
14, Sylvester Carr.
Hurst flicks it on, looking for Middle Miss. Not quite enough power on that header to find him, though. But, yeah, I think the Stompers, doing everything they can to keep fresh legs. Like I said earlier, the one thing when Seoul has this much possession, it's generally pretty tiring for the opponent. And so not surprising that, they're trying to go to the bench to keep legs fresh here in the second half.
And you can see the Soul trying to maybe attack from different angles and make something a little bit different than what the Stompers have been seeing for the first 75, but they haven't been able to get into those rhythms. The ball's been stuck in the middle of the field for the last 5 minutes or so.
Yeah.
Now a good chance here as Pacheco flicks it on. And that shot is going to get in! The Stompers answer the goal in the second half, and they have retaken a 2-goal lead.
Wow. You can see Saul kind of little dejected there. Here's a replay coming in, and just a little touch by the defender, and then a nice low far post shot past Taylor Jones.
That's Abilal, who came in as a replacement in about the 65th minute of this second half, and the Stompers in the 79th minute make this 3-1, and now the Soul are going to really have to work hard here in these final minutes to try and get that one back, because that hurt, and that was one of those goals that we've seen the Stompers have all night long. The Pacheco goal was very similar, and now the great goal there by Abilal.
We were just talking about how the Soul had the possession. Well, at some point they trail, and you got to like the lethal attack. Not many chances. So you can see Varnador has pushed forward, but they haven't had many chances. But they've capitalized on the ones they had, and at some point that's the name of the game.
Varnador commits the foul there, and it will be a goal kick for the Stompers. And you can see now that time management is going to be their best friend as this continues. So we have a substitution for the Stompers, as coming off will be Jason Hadley, and replacing him will be Edgar Guzman. Replacing for the Stompers here, number 17 Guzman, replacing number 24 Jason Hadley. So the Stompers up 3-1, thanks to a big-time goal by Abilal, a substitution in this second half. And now up the pitch they go. The Soul really trying to stretch the field, but the Stompers back on defense, doing a great job of holding their end of the field.
Soul have pushed into 3 defenders and added an extra forward. They pushed Varnador forward. And, the risk is that you give up a 4th goal, but I think any coach or team at this level is going to, go down fighting.
Right.
And with just 9 minutes remaining, you're hoping to get one and give yourself 2-3 minutes to try to get an equalizing goal.
So Galvan will come back and play that ball, looking up for couple of players, but it will be the Stompers clearing it out, and that's going to be their MO. Those long clear outs, you know, you're going to waste some time trying to get it. And the Soul are really going to have to work hard very quickly as we've entered the 82nd.
Yeah, and if this holds up, this is a big road win for the Stompers.
Without
I
a
think
doubt.
with both teams coming in, you know, with an even record. Soul obviously having a few injuries that they're having to kind of, you know, replace some players that are normally fixtures in the team. And, you know, this is a big early win. Certainly a lot of soccer to be played left for both teams, but, you know, both teams were hoping to come in and establish themselves as kind of the top in the conference.
So the Soul will look to the Soul will continue here. And we'll have a raffle drawing here live as we head for the 83rd minute. A good play here. There's a Soul in the box, a shot on, but Weber right there, as he has been all night basically.
Yes, Weber's done a nice job. The one situation, Middle Miss caught him kind of out of position and chipped in a beautiful goal. But other than that, his positioning's been good and he's been pretty solid.
Summer Scales couldn't win that 50-50, and it'll be a free ball for the Stompers.
So is it all of it? We get all the money?
Yeah, and we also have some of them off. Okay.
I think we're going to be going to a 50-50 raffle.
We are in just a second, as it looks like the Stompers are going to just play a long shot here. Pacheco with a ball scorching on the turf, but it will be picked up by the Soul. Do you have a ticket? Did you want to pull it?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
You can see the Soul working here.
And we are going to have a card here as Middle Miss getting a word or two from some Stompers as he made that hard tackle. And as I announce the winner of the 50-50, I'll hand it over to Chris for a minute.
So it looks like a set piece here for the Stompers. And again, you can tell they're just taking their time. Less than 6 minutes remaining.
Two or just two?
Referee will add, I would say, at least 3 or 4 minutes of stoppage time.
Okay, so it's $15
But
for each person?
the Stompers are
Or
happy,
is it $30 for each person?
happy here to just milk the clock.
Oh, it's a jersey. Okay, so it's 2 jerseys. Okay.
Any choice they want.
Okay.
And we're supposed to call out the number.
Another foul called on the
that's the
Soul.
first
You can
one.
see a little frustration here on the Soul's end.
You can.
Certainly trying to play their way back in. Here's their upcoming Sonoma County Soul game schedule.
The winners of the jersey raffle.
So
the first
quite a few
number
more
here,
home
if you wanna
games
take
left
out
to
your
see
tickets,
the Soul in action.
First number is 280.
Middle Miss pushing forward.
330. That's
Finds
the winner of the
Hurst,
first
who
jersey.
just unable to find
And the
Topper
second
there.
ticket number
And ball played forward to the Stompers.
is
Blocked by
280,
Summer Scales.
316.
And Stompers
280,
regained possession.
316.
And Pacheco
So
just over the top of Taylor Jones in the Soul goal.
at the front gate.
At the front gate.
If you have one of the winning tickets, please go to the front gate and claim your prize. So a good chance there for the Stompers in the 85th. They've continued to play well. We talked about at halftime how the adjustments that the Soul would have had to make were definitely a lot more than what the Stompers would have, and the Stompers really have played their game. They've had a couple of good counterattacks. Now a chance here. A little flick on by Middle Miss into some space, but no good for Varnador.
Yeah.
One of the winners. So if you go up to the front gate, they'll have it.
Did you notice number 2 already?
There's 2, so yeah, there's. Okay. Which numbers did you have? Oh, they'll be at the front gate, so I'll let you know if you won the other one. You can see the Stompers taking their time as they played that goal kick out, and now the Soul really trying to rush hard, and Varnador had a shot there, but it was passed behind him. Now Hurst, left-footed kick right at Weber.
You know, the Soul, again, have had chances to win this game, but I don't think they've taken them as well as the Stompers. The Stompers probably, I would say the Soul maybe have, 2 shots to 1 on goal,
they
but
do.
the advantage obviously has been to the Stompers initially with the penalty kick and then the 2 other goals.
Long chance there, but the Stompers are content to let that one go and take their time with this goal kick. So we're getting close to the end of this match. An incredible chip shot by Middle Miss in the 70th minute made this a 2-1 match, but Abilal 7 minutes later with a goal making it 3-1. And that has really been the difference in this match, is that 2-goal difference. After the 26th minute, the Stompers have really kept the Soul at bay. Not really too many great chances. But now that they've had to push the pressure, they're trying to make something happen. Galvan on the left side trying to cross it in. It goes off of Leon. And it will be off of, I believe that's going to be Hurst, and it will be a goal kick for the Stompers. So we're going to get to the 89th minute here. The clock will stop at 2 minutes, and then we'll be on the timekeeper to let us know what he's got.
And again, after going down 2 goals, the Soul kind of they did what they needed to do to get back into the game, and kind of kept at it, got the goal by Middle Miss. And at that point, it certainly they had the momentum, and it looked like it was going to be a game they maybe could tie up. And you see Eric Larson pushing in here, playing a ball through. Varnador looking to pressure that.
Varnador coming from the defensive position to come up and actually play forward, but none done there for the Big Soul forward, and he had a shot there but could not capitalize.
Great little chip pass by Corey Toffer, and Varnador did a nice job kind of settling it, but just a little bit too long of a touch, and the goalkeeper was there as he has been all night. That's Weber in the goal.
So Toffer and Larson up the midfield as they've pushed up 4 forwards now, and the Soul trying to figure out some type of possession as we've hit the near 90-minute mark. That was going to be offsides if there was a touch, but now that the Soul recovered, they'll bring it back as quickly as possible. But the Stompers there at the midfield stripe to keep them honest, and a foul there on the far left side.
Soul getting a little bit frustrated, and Stompers happy to take a foul here and milk the clock. Every second counts for them, and referee will be giving the fourth official will be given the stoppage time. I would imagine there'd be at least 3, maybe even 4 or 5.
Right. There's definitely been a few more stoppages in the second half than the first. Another good chance here as the Stompers tried to play it through, but nothing for them there. As now Middle Miss playing back is going to try and bring it up the right side himself. Can't do anything there, and the Stompers will control. And we're going to have a foul here, and it is a card.
I think that might be his second, so he's going to be getting red carded there.
And so that is a red card. The yellow card earlier for Summer Scales, and he is now off. And it is indeed a red.
So you see on the replay here, ball comes in.
So they're saying that Summer Scales came from underneath.
Yeah, I mean, certainly he was a little bit late there, but not sure that it was as bad as it looked, or the Stomper player made it look. But he's kind of popped up now that he's got the card, and
I'm sure
a little bit of gamesmanship there, and unfortunate for Summer Scales, who's played hard tonight. Tough way to go out in the last really in stoppage
Right.
time.
3 minutes were granted. So 3 minutes in stoppage time here, and you can tell the Stompers are going to take their sweet time with this free kick, trying to play one of those deep diagonals. And it ends up being controlled by the Soul. The 3 minutes just went up, and so this is getting close to the finish, but we have an offsides there on that run by Sylvester Carr. Soul trying to make something happen very quickly, but Hurst trying to play it back. Leon there, and he will flick it back towards midfield. And it will be the Soul drawing a foul there. And it will be a free run here for the Soul as the time winds down.
Well, the good thing is it's early season still, and I think everybody has plenty of game left to make up. But you can see final whistle there by the referee.
So the Stompers come up to Rohnert Park and come away with a 3-1 victory over the Sonoma County Soul in our match tonight here at Cougar Stadium. The 2 goals in the first half for the Soul, big time, especially the penalty kick by Jacob Tallerman in the 12th minute. The 26th minute goal by Graven Pacheco made it 2-0, and then a beautiful chip by Ross Middlemiss, the reigning player of the year, made it 2-1 and was really giving the Soul some hope. But then coming back the other way, the late substitution for the Stompers, Amin Abalil, with a goal to make it 3-1 and conclude the scoring here. A red card given to Lee Summerscales on 2 yellows. Only one other yellow card out, and that was for the Stompers. So, you would say a quote-unquote clean game in some aspects, but the Soul, for all the opportunities they had, I think the one thing you'll see is that they're not going to be happy with what happened tonight, given that they had that many opportunities.
For sure. I think for me, probably the difference was early. The Soul created some good chances, even in the first 5, 6, 7 minutes, to maybe get a goal and establish themselves in the game. And they weren't able to capitalize, and then obviously the penalty kick was a game changer. Tough call. It happens. Referee was there and made his decision. Not obviously it's tough to tell whether it was a penalty from our angle, but certainly that changed the whole dynamic of the game. And then at that point, credit to the Stompers for finding another goal and forcing the Soul to kind of change the way they played a little bit.
So the Soul lose here 3-1. They will go on the road next Saturday against City Aguilichos in Raimondi Park at 7 p.m. Their next home match will be against the Sacramento Gold here on April 26th in 2 weeks, and we will have that for you here on your local Sonoma County Comcast networks and also live on Ustream as well. So 5 o'clock rebroadcast if you're watching the game live on your local Sonoma County Comcast networks. And also it will be up on YouTube. Just search for Sonoma TV as well on Wednesday night. Chris, thank you for joining me tonight. It was great to do this game with you.
My pleasure. It's been great work with you as well.
And we'll see each other again in 2 weeks, hopefully, for
sure.
The next match as the Gold come into town to take on the Soul. So we thank you for joining us. We will be back in 2 weeks live for some more action for the Sonoma County Soul in the National Premier Soccer League. For Chris, I'm Tim Livingston. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you then. Until then, good night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Greetings, fans, and welcome to this broadcast right here at Rancho Cotati High School at Cougar Stadium. It is the Sonoma County Soul and the San Francisco Stompers. I'm Tim Livingston alongside Chris Zemer, welcoming you to our broadcast here on your local Sonoma County network. I'll actually hand it over to Chris for a little bit of an introduction of the game while I do the starting lineups on the PA, and we'll get you ready to go here on this game this evening.
Hello, everybody. This is Chris, as he mentioned, and yeah, we're getting ready to kick off to tonight's matchup. It's going to be a good one. Both teams come into this NPSL matchup with a 1 win and 1 tie record. So it's going to be an early season matchup, but definitely an important one. Seoul will be looking to establish their rhythm early at their home field here at Rancho Cotati. And
Testing,
the Stompers
1, 2, 3. Testing.
coming in on the road.
Good evening, fans, and welcome to Cougar Stadium here at Rancho Cotati High School
See the
for tonight's
teams
matchup between the visiting San Francisco
heading out
Stompers
for the national
and your
anthem.
Sonoma County Soul. We will begin with the starting lineups. First for the visiting Stompers. Tonight, their goalkeeper, number 1, Brett Weber. Number 20, Jesus Leon. Number 2, Luis Castillo. Number 15, Ramon Garcia. Number 8, Boya Carr. Number 3, David Cordova Marroquin. Number 5, Noah Delgado. Number 24, Jason Hadley. Number 10, Gustavo Tavera Rico. Number 6, Jacob Tallerman. And number 9, Graven Pacheco. That is your starting lineup.
There you can see the
For the San
Stompers
Francisco
in
Stompers.
maroon tonight.
And now the starting lineup for the Sonoma County Soul, as announced by their coach, Vinny
Seoul
Cortezo.
will be in their traditional orange
Their
and
goalkeeper
blue.
tonight, number 1, Taylor Jones.
Taylor Jones in goal.
Number 6, Eric Larson.
Eric Larson playing
Number 16,
outside
Taylor Varnador.
defender.
Number 23, Lee
Taylor
Summerscales.
Varnador.
Number 18, Miguel Galvan. Number 14, Corey Toofer. Number 21, Chris Daly. Number 7, Tyler Hurst. Number 2, Ross Middlemiss. Number 17, Trevor Hurst. And number 3, Edgar Amador. Your starting lineup for the Sonoma County Soul. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we please ask you rise, remove your caps and hats for the playing of our national anthem. Nice set piece here for the Soul early. So they are very, very aggressive in the early on, first 3 minutes of this match, and they have definitely established a tempo that is going to be hard for the Stompers to keep up with if they continue.
For sure. And Trevor Hurst on the corner kick here, and you see they push on Varnador and Summerscales out of the back, 2 of their kind of taller players, and the keeper does a nice job handling that there.
Brett Weber goes up for the catch, and now the Stompers are going to try that counterattack, and pushing it up the pitch there is Tavera Rico, looking for Taylorman, but he's not going to be able to get there, and the Soul recover. So you can see the Stompers playing 9 back. It's going to be, it can be difficult for the Soul to find the hole, so to speak, but the way they've been moving the ball around, you saying from the sides in, a great strategy. They have done such a good job of attacking the holes in that defense.
You can see Trevor Hurst, left-footed player, but he's playing on the right-hand side here. Does a nice job of actually drawing the foul there.
Right, he got tripped up there by Tallerman. And so it'll be a free kick for the Soul from about 35 yards out.
Eric Larson, who normally plays central in the midfield, is playing as an outside defender. So he's in a little bit of an uncomfortable position, but certainly has all the qualities to do a good job out there.
Larson, yeah, he's going to have a shot. He may play something in the box. We'll see.
Yeah, I think they're going to try to attack that space and behind the defense, and not the greatest balls there by Larson.
And now the counterattack on again for the Stompers, but back to receive it is Lee Summerscales.
New face in the Soul lineup, Miguel Galvan at the outside defender position. You see them playing nicely through Ross Middlemiss and back to Daly. Middlemiss collects it.
Oh, man, what a great opportunity, and that gets kicked out at the last second. What a beautiful play by the Stompers to prevent that goal from going in.
Wow,
What a play. That was Boya Carr coming up on that play, saving that at the goal line.
Definitely a goal-scoring chance at its best there. As you can see, the Soul back here. But
check this replay out here.
You can see Middle Miss does a nice job collecting it and just pushes it above the goalkeeper, and the Stompers do a nice job sliding and clearing it. Looks like Tyler Hurst was right there to pounce on it had that not been cleared away.
So Boya Carr with the most spectacular play of this game so far. We're only 5 minutes in, and it's been all Soul, but the Stompers are very resilient early on. A free kick here from about 50 yards out, and it's going to go deep into the box, but trying to draw the foul there is Tallerman, but we're going the other way, as it was him who actually committing the foul. And so it will be a goal kick here for Taylor Jones.
So it looks like in the midfield you have Corey Toffer, Chris Daly, and Tyler Hurst. And those three are going to have a lot of work to do because they're going to be surrounded. And so their ability to find each other and kind of playing between the lines, I think, is going to be a key part of this game, getting them involved in some dangerous situations.
A 4-5-1 setup for the Stompers means that the middle of that field, like you said, is going to be clumped up. And if you can move it up the sides quickly. And with that, we're about ready to get started here at Cougar Stadium, Rancho Cotati High School here in Rohnert Park, California. As Chris was talking about, the Stompers in town to take on the Sonoma County Soul. And the weather tonight, Chris, is probably going to be a little bit of a factor, although both teams are plenty ready to play in this type of weather. The clouds started coming in right before about an hour short of game time. The wind has kicked up a little bit, and considering the conditions, it looks like it's just going to continue to drop in temperature as the night progresses.
For sure. It's going to be a nice night to play, although it'll be a little bit chilly. I think the Soul are used to this here in Rohnert Park. You know, you get that seasonal wind coming through in the spring and summer. And they'll be ready. It's their home field, and they're used to it. I think the Stompers, obviously playing in the city, will be used to the conditions as well. So I don't think it'll be a huge factor unless the wind picks up.
So our sponsors tonight, we have CP Photography, Rohnert Park Chamber of Commerce, Nicholson Ranch, the Bridge School of Santa Rosa, and the Sonoma County Alliance, the affiliated youth soccer club of the Sonoma County Soul. Also want to mention KOA Petaluma, who have done a great job with the Soul as well this year. And we are just about ready to go as the Soul and the Stompers get ready to begin this match here at Rancho Cotati High School. Some pretty interesting weather, as we said. About 55 degrees right now at game time. Very cloudy, as you can see. And at this point,
you can see the Soul just finishing up their traditional pregame cheer, which some of their opponents kind of look at and laugh, but it gets them motivated for the game. So,
hey, pregame celebrations are pregame celebrations. Anything to get the team up and ready to go.
Absolutely. And the Stompers are coming in with some new faces this year. Sounds like they have some talent from around the Bay Area, and they started off, both teams come into the game with a win and a tie. So it's an early season game, but it's definitely an important one for both teams to kind of establish themselves early in the NPSL.
The Soul will likely begin with the ball, it looks like. Let the middle players play out to the sides. A couple of triangles or maybe some 1-2s. That's really going to help them move the ball up the field more.
You see Summerscales on the ball. There's a nice left foot, finds Hurst.
Hurst couldn't stomp on it, and it will be the Stompers taking it back as Tallerman will kick it back upfield for the Stompers. So early on, playing those sides, and now another counterattack, and we have some motion upfield for the Stompers now. A great play through by Pacheco, but he cannot finish his run, and it is cleared out by the Soul. The Stompers content to play this counterattack game, let the Soul have the ball, but the Soul do have to be vigilant with their defense. They have to make sure to get back on their half of the pitch, especially the midfielders.
For sure, and you could see them playing those early balls into Pacheco up top.
And there's another ball in, and Pacheco couldn't come down with that one, but does get it back from Garcia. And now a shot on goal is just wide. And looks like we might have a stoppage. It will be
corner kick.
A corner kick for the Stompers. They're saying the Soul touched that on deflection. 8th minute here.
Interesting little side note about Pacheco. He actually plays on the Costa Rican beach national team.
Wow.
So he's probably trying to get his field legs here still. He's coming off of a season in the sand.
So the Stompers will have a corner kick. They're going to have 6 in the box here. A deep, deep set, and now the header will be recovered by the Soul. Trying to push it upfield, a counterattack of their own, but the Stompers are back. Still, that's a great move there by Middle Miss, but cleared out by the Stompers, and that actually goes into the stands, top row.
Middle Miss did a nice job of holding that ball up in the transition there, but Stompers did a good job recovering and obviously cleared it out of bounds, out of danger.
They had 3 back on that corner kick, and so they really wanted to make sure that if the Soul were able to recover anything, that they were prepared for the counterattack, and they were indeed. But still, the Soul, a little flick back there by Middle Miss, but that shot goes high in the air and is saved as Daly tried to put that on goal.
You can see the Soul doing a nice job early of finding Middle Miss. He's a great target player. Obviously, the reigning NPSL Player of the Year last year, so dangerous, and everybody knows about him. But Soul done a good job early finding him.
Multiple volleys there for the Stompers, but the Soul do recover. And that will clear it back into their end of the field. Middle Miss again trying to make something happen, but gets pushed from behind, and it will be a free kick for the Soul. As that was Luis Castillo coming up on Middle Miss from behind. Referee talking to him, no card. But it will be the Soul with the ball here in the 10th minute. And looks like this will be played by Tyler Hurst. 2-man set, and it will be Hurst to kick it off. Middle Miss all over the... And we are set for this soccer match here at Cougar Stadium. You can see the wind picking up a little bit down on the field, and it's going to, like I said, as the night goes on, you're probably going to see that wind increase.
For sure. It'll become more of a factor, especially in the second half. Soul kind of going with the wind at their backs, starting off early, but could be playing with it in their face early in the second half.
So the Soul begin things here with the ball, and we are ready to go. And they are going to play the ball back on their own end and push it up the side, but it's turned over quickly in the Soul's side of the pitch there. And now the Stompers are going to try and make a move back up the field, but cleared out nicely. Do you feel that this is going to be a game played in the middle of the field this evening, or do you feel like it's going to be one team controlling the possession more than the other?
You know, traditionally the Soul like to control possession. They spread the other team out and use a lot of the width, and so they have the ball generally more than their opponents. It'll be interesting to see how San Francisco comes out, you know, whether they play with 2 forwards or 3 forwards, or sometimes they even play with 1, play a little bit more of a counting attack style. So
Their starting lineup showed that they're playing with 5 midfielders, only 1 forward. So I think they are going to be trying to play more of a counterattack at this point. Really, like you said, with the possession that the Soul likes to keep, trying to make sure that they can at least make a run on goal if they get an opportunity to do so. And here's a nice little set, and that is just high.
Wow, Ross Middlemiss with a great early chance there. It was Tyler Hurst that played the ball in and did a nice job connecting. The timing was a little bit awkward there, but just pushed it over the bar.
A great run by Middlemiss, though, getting right into the middle of the box and having a great opportunity for that one-timer.
Absolutely.
And now the ball goes back towards the middle of the pitch, and the Soul once again regained possession. And it's going to be a interesting start already to this match. We're only a couple of minutes in.
And a great early chance by the Soul. That would have been a nice opportunity just to kind of put a stamp on the game right from the start.
A turnover there at midfield, and the Stompers will try and control. But the Soul are going to make sure that they keep the ball on that side of the pitch, and now the Stompers clear it out and give a throw-in for the Soul right in front of the Soul bench.
So you can see one of the themes early with the Stompers just playing with 1 forward. The Soul have 4 defenders, so they're going to be able to possess the ball out of the back. The key is how are they going to find those moments going forward with such a condensed backfield for the Stompers. So look for them to kind of stretch them out and transition also to be key, because if the Stompers do come out, I think in those moments the Soul really need to capitalize and take advantage of it.
Amador cannot control the ball there, but the Soul do get it back after the throw-in. Once again, working up fast. There's Middlemiss again, and that's going to be a corner kick for the Soul as they get the deflection. And we're going to get